get right. It's time to get on down. It's the noise, baby. Oh, it's the noise, baby. Oh, it's the noise, baby. Oh, it's the noise, baby.
All right. Welcome once again to the Independent Black Voice. I am your host, beatzillapdx official, and we are here on a Wednesday evening. Typically, these broadcasts are on tape delay, but tonight we are live. So hopefully everybody is doing well on this Wednesday evening. As you are coming in, please like and share this broadcast. Send this the notification out. Let them know we are live. Let them know we are live right now, ladies and gentlemen. So it has been a minute since I've been in front of you, a little bit anyway. And some of the interesting things that have taken place since I've been, I guess, since my last upload is seeing a lot of the reactions to the questions of our vetting of Jasmine Crockett. In the time of all of that happening, we've had, of course, Carmelo Anthony's situation, take kind of center stage in the news. This week, not so much, because his family has now had to move because they've had their address leaked or put to the public, as you already seen some media entities doing. So they have now moved to a undisclosed, safer location, hopefully. So hopefully all is well with them. And then the dad got swatted. Since that has taken place, he has actually been swatted multiple times. And when I seen this happening, let's be clear, I can't really say that you have ever seen a bunch of black trolls are out here doing the swatting thing. And as we know, for a lot of these school shooters or mass shooters, that they have these ideological beliefs. But remember, this man is telling you, do not use his son for a, don't use him as your poster child to promote your, as he called it, race baiting. How about that? They always call us race baiters, but he's calling them race baiters. And indeed, in fact, they are. Because if you look at this case from what we see on the outside right now, without even having all the facts, number one, they overcharged him. So the initial charge, I think when people have to get to it, they'll realize like, okay, this doesn't warrant this. And so if you've heard more of the public trying to force a narrative than any facts, and right now as the fact stands, to get first degree, meaning you have to have malicious intent, and you can't prove that on this case. That's not even applicable remotely. So I don't know what they're going to do after this. Maybe they will try to go for a lesser charge, but it seems to me after you already overcharged them at this stage in the game, it does kind of make it look some kind of way to keep trying to bring charges when you know that the situation wasn't that. So in all honesty, and from all the things that I've witnessed, which again, my situation included, this kid should have his charges dropped. Easy. But, I guess we have to let it all play out. It's unfortunate because had he looked like a Daniel Penny, there wouldn't have been charges initially anyway. See, Daniel Penny did not have to bail out immediately. This kid did. Your family immediately goes on strain when you're black. When you white, your family has time to prepare that, oh, this may come down the pike. So you may have a week or two at home to get your affairs in order. Meanwhile, for the black person, charge him now and figure it out later. We are at the end of April. You mean to tell me for the people who can indict a ham sandwich have not been able to come back with an indictment on this kid for what you charged him with? It seems to me that you should know that that you got him lock, stock, and barrel with such a high charge. It's not really looking like that though now, is it? So I know people probably going to be quite upset here in the near future. I perceive, but well, that's what you get for being anti-black for no reason. But with that being said, let me see who we got in the house this evening. Devin Haley in the building. Good to see you. Thank you for being here. And Priscilla Taylor in the building. Jersey City is here. Black first. Thank you for being here. Yes, I liked and shared. Thank you, Devin Haley. I appreciate it. And hey, everybody. Hey, Oyela's Cadence. Thank you for being here and being a moderator. I appreciate you. And we are now officially international. So, one of the things, and we ain't going to be here long, but one of the first things I want to talk about is The View. This is very interesting. I don't know how many of y'all heard, but they are looking to, or Trump is floating out the idea of shooting $5,000 out there for couples who want to have children. And there are people who are upset with that notion. Susan Butler, Black First, Chicago. Yes, indeed. Thank you for being here. And Rhonda Smith in the building. Thank you. Hello. Hope everyone is doing well this evening. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. So I guess they are kind of feeling like, oh, wow, this is really some Handmaid's Tale. Yeah. Again, it's incentive for married couples, not single mothers, but married couples, because you're trying to rebuild the family structure. And it's very interesting when you see these people who have an issue with that notion. And so I would have to wonder, like, for what we have been seeing all of these past few months about these people's agenda, it seems like you're upset at the promotion of life. And they call themselves pro-choice. But the notion of this angers them. Why would you be bothered at someone incentivizing others to procreate? How does that make sense? Very interesting. Let's get here.
Really, they don't know how women's bodies work, and they don't know what it costs to raise a child or just have a child. And $5,000? I don't know what $5,000 is supposed to do. And it's not even $5,000 because you have to cut it in half because you got to pay taxes on it. Yeah. So they're offering you $2,500.
These people's elitism is off the charts. It is really becoming overtly noticeable. And because Jasmine Crockett does it, These people are clearly doing it right now. It's insane. What's $5,000? Here again, what's $5,000 gonna do? I mean, they're gonna tax it, and then it's gonna be $2,500. If the $5,000 is a tax credit, then that's just like that's adding maybe I'm missing something here. Isn't that adding on to the already or was it what they call that, the child tax earned income or whatever? So isn't that going to be 5,000 stacked on top of that? So hell yes, that's an incentive. How did you just, I mean, maybe I'm missing something, but when you're talking about the government giving you something, usually those payouts are by way of refund. So what am I missing? That am I confused? Because doesn't that mean that they're just going to tack that on to your income tax refund? You get your credit for your kids, and then wow, here's the extra. It to me, it makes total sense. But and so when you're talking about a credit, see, this is a cold part here. Look at how they did that. So when it was Kamala Harris and her $25,000 tax credit, meaning you have to have $25,000 down up front. Meanwhile, they're breaking these folks off with $36,000 housing loans with no collateral. But you got to have $25,000. So basically you got to have $25,000 collateral to get a $25,000 credit. I mean, so basically, yeah, you're going to get your down payment back. But are you really helping that's not a plus for the masses, because who got down payment? You are hearing the stories of what is going on in the housing market. So to even dangle that carrot out there is really disingenuous. They already, here's another thing that they aren't really putting in the win. And so I'll get back to Whoopi in a minute, but I just wanted to say this one part. Notice how they're defaulting student debt loans. But when they were on the campaign trail, they were telling us that we were stupid because one of the things, the accomplishments of Joe Biden's and Harris's presidency was forgiving student loans. Let's hear some more of these lies.
To have a baby. Now, don't forget about all the stuff they've cut. But let me talk about some of the things that the administration has slashed, which is why I am so not only insulted by that amount of money, because $5,000, yes, it sounds like a lot of money. If you pay rent, you can't pay for your school programs for your kids. If you said to me,
but isn't something better than nothing, I guess?
No, not in this case.
Oh, wait. So something is not better than nothing in this case. The Democrat agenda cannot be so important that we're making up these type of excuses or lines to really still ultimately at the end of the day promote the death of our babies, our unborn, shall I say. I mean, what are we saying here, man? What's happening? Let's hear some more of this.
I feel like if Biden proposed this, we would all be saying it's groundbreaking.
Yes.
No, I'm sorry. I don't like the idea that somebody is saying.
See how she jumped up? Oh. Am I sounding like Megatron? What's going on? Let's fix this. Hold on. Sound just got janky. Check, 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 check. Let me know if y'all can hear me. Check 1 2 1 2. Let me know if y'all can hear me, family. Okay. All right. Okay. That was weird. Okay, so back to what Whoopi just did. That was kind of interesting. I'm gonna run that back a little bit.
You can't pay for your after-school programs for your kids. If you said to me,
but isn't something better than nothing, I guess?
No, not in this case.
I feel like if Biden proposed this, we would all be saying it's groundbreaking and
I'm sorry. I don't like the idea that somebody is saying you need to, I'm going to pay you to have more kids. It seems to me that everything this administration seems to be doing is telling people not to have children.
Says the person who went to the convention that had a mobile abortion clinic. The hypocrisy of these people is off the charts. I mean, come on, man. You're what are we doing? See, this is the problem for me. And I hope one of my biggest things that I hope people take away, the general public, I mean, is that you see these people's hypocrisy. I hope that you just are taking their hypocrisy and breathing it in, because these people are off the charts. So now what's the problem? They're upset at people incentivizing the president, the government, your government, incentivizing you to have children. And I can think, like, when me and my wife had young children, man, so we get a credit for being married, plus we get the earned tax income credit for the 2 kids. Who could do something with that? What are you talking about? Why are your churches having revivals right now? Why are there telethons at all these different institutions? Why are these Black conventions being held at this time of year? And all of a sudden, we're going to act like the way that you guys have always hustled money and tax refund money off of the Black community every single year. This year, he's saying, hey, I'm going to put some money in your pocket. Oh, to have kids? To strengthen the community with building families? Well, no, that's completely against what our God, George Soros, what the people over here at the Democratic Party want. Oh, you guys also see that Klaus stepped down silently. Keep an eye on that. Is when do you ever see people enact with that type of power and pull? Yeah, I think I'm just going to call it quits. Really? This guy? Yeah, keep an eye on old Klaus. See where he don't turn up at. Yeah, these gajillionaires out here running the world. Then they'll tell you Elon Musk got so much money. Family, I've told you, my career was and it still is international banking. And when you understand what I understand, when the media tells you who is rich and who's the richest, that's not who the richest is. Not even close. Like not in the ballpark. No. And it's funny to watch like the people that I know they deal with like peons or the people that everybody believes is these are the movers and shakers. They don't move nothing. Your Bill Gates and all of these people, they not calling the shots. Are you kidding? No, they are allowed to maneuver. Even at that stage in the game. With that amount, they can wield the power they want to, but trust me, if the powers that be say enough is enough, oh, it'll come to an end. Nobody bucking up against them people. If y'all watch the Game of Thrones, y'all seen all of the power players, even all the way down to the damn throne and the royal family. There was a group of people that none of them people wanted to piss off, and that was called the Iron Bank. Don't nobody know who them folks is. You don't know what the names of them people is. No, nothing. All you know is they always get their goal. So I put it to you like that. That's who runs the show. So what is it ultimately that they would have a problem with, especially with our empowerment? Somebody to get people out there to go muck up the conversation like this. And this is just saying, putting the notion of having children and being prosperous is a bad idea to give to the public. That is a message that comes from far beyond these little dum-dums. That's an agenda that comes from the people who to put the strings in Bill, who puppet them strings on the Bill Gates. Oh, whoa, we doing this tonight. I guess I'm talking a little too heavy. Okay, well, let her go ahead. Let me fix my sound over here.
Why not make sure that kids that we already have a shot at good schooling? If you want people to have children, you have to not scare them by cutting all these programs that they may need.
Yeah.
These are not black or white or Hispanic. These are human children.
You know, it's funny. You have every care in the world about preventing people from having children. That's crazy. And think of the alternative of which they praise. And so for what's in their hearts, which is the unborn deletion in the womb, this bothers them to where even the notion of incentivizing people who want to get together, have a family, raise a family, that bothers these people. Because I don't like the idea of my government. You don't like the idea of your government incentivizing families? It's how you build a nation. Something's wrong here. And for those of y'all who are Black Democrats, you are watching this, how does it sit with your spirit? Like, that makes sense to you? You could not have been raised in an environment to where that makes sense. I'm gonna just go out on a limb and say that, you know, maybe. But this the rest of this video from this article. Sounds like a good idea to me. You have declining birth rates. Now, it's not ours, of course. because that's what they actually advocate. Okay.
Why does he yell your name? Crockett over and over.
Okay, not doing that. You can get that off the screen now. Stop sharing. All right. Damn it, Crockett. Jeez. But, you know, just looking at how they have been getting down, that is so extremely important for them, and that they will not let up off of that at all. Like, you got to force this baby deletion. Well, American public has spoken. Black America most definitely has spoken, because that's not something we are pushing. Matter of fact, we have an entirely different agenda, which our agenda also strengthens the family. Here's something else. So just the other day, let me see who we had come in the chat here. One Who Cares in the building. Good to see you. Good to see you. And thank you for being here. And we got the Church of Black Power in the building. Shalom and salute, family. What's going on, my good brother? Thank you and appreciate you for being here. And thank you for being here and being a member. And man, I got a chance to catch a couple of your broadcasts. And good work, brother. Good work. So yes, our brother, the Church of Black Power, he is a face and a voice, not just a thumbnail. So he has the Sunday service over there on his channel. So as you guys have seen, some of y'all might actually already be over there. I think a lot of y'all are over there already. So check our brother out over here, the Church of Black Power. Salute to you, good brother. And we got Yellow Cat with the hearts. Yes, indeed. And One Who Cares. And of course, I can hear you. Thank you so much. So, yeah, brother, you already know. So check this out. This story I heard, and it's on, I guess if you go to Dr. Rashad Ritchie's channel, there's a story that's talking about, and I just wanted to briefly mention this because it's interesting. But needless to say, on this channel, there's a story about this woman who passed away from like a stroke at her job. I guess she fell asleep at her desk and never woke up. And her family is saying that it was from the stress of the uncertainty of the cuts to Social Security or whatever. And I found that to be so strange. It's like, wait a minute. I'm looking at this woman's picture. And this woman's pretty hefty. You know, this is kind of heavy woman. She was obese. She had already had hypertension, high blood pressure, high cholesterol. But her family believes her stroke that led to her death was caused by way of her fretting over what Trump might possibly do to her job at Social Security. And I had to watch this video seeing this brother on the verge of tears, you know, because Black people are so stressed out. You know, the worries of just if you're gonna not have a future at your job and they don't appreciate what you've done, the job. It's just like, oh boy, come on, man. Really is so have y'all had that luxury on these jobs to where you just felt so overly appreciated by your bosses? I'm thinking to myself, like, This ain't nothing but working on the West Coast, partner. What you talking about? Appreciation. What do you think? You expected them to treat you like them folks? Oh no. Maybe that, I mean, because it's a different dynamic out there. I'm like, and I had to start looking at folks that live in that type of environment. Okay, y'all don't understand. Y'all could go to work with your black bosses and your black co-workers and all y'all working for the government out here. Out here, we working for white corporations. Straight up and down. White folks, we working for. If you working for the government out here, you're still working for white folks. They put black folks in charge where you at because you're easier to manage that way. So when you have to come out here, all that stress y'all talking, like I'm thinking to myself, what the hell kind of black person had this luxury in their life? Like, I guess, but I don't know nothing about that. Everything that I heard was just normal, everyday stuff. And then on top of that, like, wait, you were stressing about what Trump's gonna do or might possibly do, and that's what kills her. He just might come over here and cut our department. Maybe it wasn't being 200 pounds overweight. Maybe it wasn't the extremely unhealthy diet. No, it absolutely was the stress. And Dr. Rashad Ritchie, you literally made that a story, brother. Here's my thing about that. Why would she ever be stressed about what he's going to do to her job about cutting Social Security when he has repeatedly said he wasn't cutting Social Security? What they were doing was finding wasteful spending within it. And so that was the only thing that ended up getting dealt with. So guess what? That means that people aren't losing benefits. People aren't losing their checks, and they're not losing those programs. But because the left and the Democratic and the shield media and pundits have repetitively used that as a fear tactic, they are killing their own people with their own fear-mongering rhetoric. Because to actually make a story, Rashad Ritchie, brother, no, man. What y'all need to do is go back to the drawing board and stop trying to fear-monger your folks, because you're over the top fear-mongering about things that they shouldn't even be thinking about. You killing folks now. You can't even blame Trump, because Trump done said repeatedly, and he's done proved it, he ain't touching it. But you keep going overboard. He's gonna hands off. You literally had a hands-off rally for something he said he wasn't touching anyway. So Democrats, shield media, hope you guys understand. Dr. Rashad Ritchie, hope you got it. It's not anyone else but you that are putting people in that bad term of health. Stop lying to the people, because they have believed you up to this point. Some have come to the realization that y'all full of crap. Y'all sat up here and told the American public that Joe Biden did not have any loss of faculties. Y'all was putting markers down on the ground for this man. You had all kind of instructions. You walking around like a robot. And I'm sure that's the least of it. I always used to tell my wife, I think they give him some kind of pep shot. And that'll only last so long, so they shoot him up. He be like, okay, I'm ready to go. But he gonna flame out after a while, right? So you gotta maximize the shot and get him in front of people at the right time. I think the long day of that debate showed the reality of it. And the reality of what they had been trying to hide all that time was revealed in one night. And they haven't recovered from it since. So what do they do after that? He's the greatest. He's the greatest. He's the greatest. He ain't the greatest. Let's have a coup. Let's now get him out and put Kamala Harris in. Oh, let's have a primary. That would be the best, because then you give everybody a clean slate. But the geniuses of the Nancy Pelosi's and the Joe Bidens, absolutely not. No primary necessary. Matter of fact, you know what we're going to do? We're going to double down. Not even stop there, but Kamala Harris, no daylight between me and you on our policy. So for everything that everybody is already rejecting, why over 90 million people choosing the couch? Oh, no, that's not enough of the message to be heard. What do? Let's go force it down people's throats. Oh, but here's the other thing. Back in 2020, there's a big issue about Kamala Harris faking to be black. Oh, no. No issue. She's black. She's black. Yeah, she's black. She's black. No, yeah. She's black. No, there's already been a firm amount of people to already throw her out of the car. We recognize her pedigree, and it ain't authentic. So what happened? Well, shoot. Damn them Negroes. We're going to push her as black anyway. Well, her dad's from Jamaica, so clearly she's black. So then we have to deal with the ignorance in our own community. Because now, being from an island with all of these different races, because everybody, the state, they have a saying from Jamaica, it was like from all one come or something like that. So meaning you're a melting pot. Like Jamaica, those areas have a really interesting history of all of these different groups who have went through there. The hell you think you got West Indians? It's the same blood relation to the East Indians. Now, of course, you got, they say West Indian, and again, there's Blendians, and then there's the slave descendants. There's from a few different dominations. So the Caribbean got a hell of a history. Party over everything. RBJ, that is a fact. They are party over everything, and that is the one thing that we have firmly rejected. Again, another reason why I am a firm believer in it's time for us to move on that independent wave. And what we really going to get into tonight is this major push for these illegals. And it's crazy. All of the stuff they keep doing and shoving in our faces is all about illegals. For you Jasmine Crockett lovers and Ayanna Presley's and all of these other people who keep caping for the illegals, I don't need a black woman representing black talking everyone else's agenda. I would take a white person talking a black agenda, because it's more than we've seen out of 70 plus members of the Black Caucus. You got those people down there in California. It took the Republican white man. Hey, why aren't you guys going to put this bill? Now, of course, it's political leverage in his favor as well. Why not use it? Because see, what we're looking at with the Democrats is you saying, oh, this is my base. Let me give them the middle finger. But hey, you know what? Man, I need you now. Oh, man, you're not going to come do what I need you to do, man? You're not just going to lay down and be everybody else's doormat? Man, what's wrong with you guys, man? And now I hope you guys see with the Carmelo Anthony and the Austin Metcalf scenario, there is a certain inherent belief in certain people that if you are black, you are just supposed to be doing what you're told. Now, Austin Metcalf, 17. My youngest, is about to be 22. Can you tell me how a 17-year-old has this type of thinking? Oh, that means it's being taught, and it wasn't being taught away from the home. So, see, we're seeing things. Oh man, everything's about race and all of that, and we got to change the things. No. There is no book in school, and let me just tell you, quite frankly, from being here in Portland, Oregon, these people can lie all day long and talk about how their kids will be made to feel from a book. Are you kidding? This comes from the people who have family heirlooms that are body parts from deleted slaves. I remember when I was telling people about the legends. Oh man, there ain't no way to bet. What you out of your mind? You don't know these. You don't understand white supremacy at all if you thought they would get rid of them legends. There's probably no porn that could even give them that kind of satisfaction looking at that. I wish more of our people understood that. That's real unfortunate because a lot of these people are they so caught up in that party system that all they hear is this. So they think party, ooh, blackness, Democrat. Man, they must be representing me. They're not. They're not at all. Matter of fact, they're very much the opposite. Yeah, brother. I said exactly that happens in house before it's taken out of the house. Because see, you have to understand what your role is. What our role is. And this is what they teach, the natural order of things, shall we say. This is what they say. I remember one of these was that fifth grade, maybe fourth grade. Yeah, fourth grade. Kid, the little white girl, she was liking me. Asked her when you go do you check the boxes, and I was in the school like, this is what they doing when we go together. Wasn't even as much as holding hands. We just, we're boyfriend and girlfriend. Yeah, whatever. So her brother comes to me in the hallway. He was like a grade above us. And he was like, my dad told my sister she can't like you. But he's like, just wait. It's not a big problem now. Just wait until middle school. So for those of you who think that this is not a conversation that goes on at home, you out your mind. This man is basically telling his little daughter, before you start becoming of childbearing age, I'm gonna let you know you can hang out with this little black boy from right now, but you can't be with him later. And somebody come out there, oh no, I don't know why my family. I hear this. Let me tell you something. Every last one of these folks sitting up here, I'm sure y'all got white friends and y'all be like, oh man, they cool. Yeah, they cool. But I hope you understand to the extent they is. Because it's like this. They may not be racist, but they got racist family members. They family members are intertwined or married to other races. And so when they at their events or family functions, that person gonna say something. Now, here's the thing. Or for me, if somebody was talking that way and I know they were that way, I'm not gonna be there. But they feel that their family obligation overrides the anti-black racism that they're about to go here. And that's your friend. So that's what I'm saying. I hope people understand the extent of where your friendship is. And they may really rock with you. But are they going off code for you? The answer is hell no. when you see white girls with black dudes, take a look at their kid. Because you see this type of thing out here all the time. Let me know if y'all see this where y'all from. When y'all see a white girl with a black dude, do y'all say, like, if she look like something? Rather, let me preface this: a white girl to look like something. You see her with a black man, I guarantee you she has a black kid or a white kid with a white daddy. See, the thing about that is, and your friends probably don't tell you this part either, is she has fulfilled her obligation to her race. See, if your white friends don't tell you that they've had the talk about the obligation to their race, maybe you guys really aren't friends. Or maybe they just know to what extent they can deal with you. But if they are foundational white American, oh, they've had that talk. They know exactly what they've done to you. And they know what place they need to keep you in. And then they also know what type of talk to be mindful of not allowing you and others to get into. You ever have conversations with other black folks and here comes Jenny. Hey guys, what do you guys just I need to pick a phrase or a word out of anything you guys are talking about so I can intervene. Oh, the sky? Wow, yeah, the sky, man. You see the sky today? You guys might be talking about sky roofing or sky plumbing or something like that. Oh, you said the sky? Oh, yeah, I'm not. Now I'm in the conversation. What are you guys talking about? Oh, man, like my family members had this issue one time, and man. How many of y'all have seen it? Have y'all been on the job, be talking to other black co-workers? Somebody got to come intervene in this because they don't want y'all. It's almost like they fear the magical Negro. And somehow when 2 or 3 of us get together, I guess they must think we about to form together like Voltron. Oh, the super eyes gonna start turning in the lightnings, and I don't know what they expect. Gonna start shooting around the room like sparks, I guess. Oh man. Whew. Tell you, boy, what they got the 4 Negro rule or 3 Negro? Any more than 3 Negroes convening in one place at a time, you got to see what's going on. He said, "Get out of here, Kimberly." Man, I'm telling you. Oh, wait, what are you guys talking about? Oh man, yeah. Oh, wait, you guys going to get some lunch? Oh man, you guys all going to that new spot around across the street? Man, I was just thinking about going there myself. Man, I guess I'll just go with you guys. Church of Black Power says, "Get out of here, Kimberly." Telling you. Oh man, you guys going here? Have you tried the new food truck? Wow, hey Jamal, man, you guys got to check it out, man. Hey, you know what? I'm going there anyway, so why don't we all just go together? All that black conversation you guys having, it won't be happening today. I know some of y'all have had to experience that. The replay gang, go ahead and chime on in the chat. Chime in the comments, family. Oh man. But moving on to what we're talking about tonight with these damn Democrats and them being the illegal immigrant caucus. That's what they need to change their name to. What y'all think? I believe they need to change their name to the illegal immigrant caucus. And one of the reasons is because all they care about is fighting for illegals. And so now for some of y'all might not even know, a politician that's supposed to be representing our area of Oregon took herself to El Salvador. Look, and then she gonna tell this big old lie on TV. Mom, talked to my constituents and they were worried about what was going on with the deportations. No, the hell we weren't, because you didn't consort with your constituents when you guys flew in an apartment complex full of illegals. Only reason we knew these people were here is because the funding that was housing all of them in this apartment complex was running out. And the people was talking about evicting them. That's how the city even knew. So, and then it started making news for a little hot second. Then all of a sudden they made it go away. So who knows? They might be in trouble here soon now that Trump is over here cutting off the faucet for a lot of things, because these people are trying to fight him to, number one, keep trans playing and grow. I always tell y'all, keep an eye on this place where I stay. Number one, so DOJ is looking at us because they won't stop putting little boys in girls' sports. They are fighting ICE and got their little networks of hiding illegals, and you don't have to say anything, and they putting things on doors. This is what you do if ICE shows up at your house. I didn't vote for a sanctuary city, by the way, but nonetheless, it's been a sanctuary city since before I could vote, but since 1987. But again, just that whole idea, it's a bad idea, and everywhere that is done that sanctuary city thing is at the least $100 million in debt. Chicago's over $1 billion. All this money for illegals. And now here they are watching our politicians, a politician from Oregon, to go fight for an illegal that's from El Salvador. Now he's in El Salvador in prison. They talking about MS-13. Family, do you understand MS-13's history, anti-Black history in this country, especially in the prison system? There was a whole thing that happened out there in Baltimore years back. Well, not Baltimore, Maryland, somewhere. Maryland, one of the Maryland prisons. Like these folks are absolutely anti-Black. They might as well have linked up with the what's the other folks? The 18th Streeters. These East Siders, the South Siders. I mean, that's all. MS-13 are just third world South Siders. That's all they is. They are anti-Black as they come. And some of them have been known for their initiation coming into the prison gang side of it is to take the life of a foundational Black American. So I just needed to, I don't know if people are aware when you hear MS-13, like, do y'all even know who they talking about? Because they have Black faces going out there, cape. Well, he's not part. You need to have your Black ass away from this altogether. Because what are you doing? Them people don't fool with us. So there's no reason to have us out there. These people are anti-Black, man. So why, again, we got to be helping. I hope you little coons that are sitting up here caping for this woman in my comments are watching this. The initiation to get into their gang is to do one of us. And they out there caping for them. Who the field hand? Who the house slave? Yes, sir, boss. Who is that? But here's the problem. You don't even know why you're doing it, because all they needed to do was put a black person in front of you. What did I say about before with the Dr. Rashad Ritchie piece? And all of y'all that live out in that DMV type of area where in these black enclaves, the rest of us don't get that experience. We dealing with the devil every day. Ain't no days off. Not even close. So it's amazing to me, man, that these people out here caping for these black folk hating illegals. So on top of that, they're not even citizens, but they're trying to use something like this is so deep. Illegals who are anti-black coming here, having black people caping for them, while these anti-black people are only able to try to even get here in the first place because of the black folks that they actually hate. You can't make this up. But somebody gonna tell me that I'm hating on Jasmine Crockett? No. The Congressional Illegal Immigrant Caucus is hating on foundational Black American freedmen, and we are pushing back and saying, hell to the no. Salute to the folks in this video.
Maryland, designated MS-13 terrorist, and Donald Trump deported him. How does that make you feel?
I feel safer.
He gotta go. He gotta go.
Need to go. I mean, that's it.
But he was a father.
But he's still a terrorist.
Okay. I mean, but there's children living without fathers now.
He should have picked and choose, so he picked to be a terrorist instead of worrying about his children.
The Democrats, they want him back. They say he was wrongfully deported. He has a wife and a kid who's a citizen. They're calling this a national emergency. Is this a national emergency?
I wouldn't call it a national emergency. We got more things going on.
We have more things, more fish to fry.
I just found out about it, so I don't think so. What kind of
Salute to the family out there in Maryland right now, y'all. Salute to y'all. Oh, this is great. Oh, that's fantastic. This is just what the Democrats did not want to see. Oh, this is classic, family. Oh, let's enjoy.
national emergency for what? What is an emergency for?
Ain't no national emergency. No.
He was accused of hitting his wife twice and was a suspected human smuggler. Was he wrongfully deported?
No. He need to go.
If he's a smuggler, yeah, he needs to be deported.
Oh, yeah, that's the other part. This guy was picked up in a car. You were stopped in a car of a known drug smuggler. He was driving it with, I guess, it wasn't no issue or incident, but he's been noted as, so it's like this dude has these weird relationships out here. It's kind of questionable. And his moving around, like, how does that not raise red flags? Well, he's a Maryland man. No, he's now El Salvadorian man. Who, again, like I said, MS-13 has a heavy presence in the DMV prison systems. All in that area, all in that East Coast area, they are heavy. MS-13, and then all the way down to Texas. Man, come on now. They just haven't made it out east like that. They're not, or out west. Because West Coast, of course, you got these Mexicans got it on lock. So, and for those folks, they don't really, they're all Hispanic, but y'all got to understand, a lot of these Mexicans over here, especially them Southsiders, they look at themselves as Aryans. They ain't nothing but brown Aryans. That's kind of how they see themselves. So you keep that in mind as to how they would perceive these other Hispanic or Afro-Latino groups that still ain't no black. Hey, you know, but I'm just saying. Let's hear more, though. This is absolutely great.
It's better to be safe than sorry.
Your senator
Yes, it
here,
is.
Chris Van Hollen, he flew to El Salvador where this guy was deported. He met with them, had lunch with them, had margaritas on the table. What's up with your senator?
I have no idea, but I do believe that was a waste of taxpayer dollars.
You agreeing with somebody whipping their wife, terrorizing where you live, then you don't need to live here either.
Senator Van Hollen, you need to come see me, Mr. Coley, because you doing like that. You need to take care of home before you go in other states.
Boy, this brother's this look right here. This look right here. This is what it looks like when you tell it like it is. Because don't you have problems to worry about at home? This is that look when that real question hits you. And he can just shut his mouth because all has been worked out in the question. Good work, brother.
He went to El Salvador.
Oh, that's another country, excuse me.
What is Senator Chris Van...
Salute to y'all out there in Maryland, man. This is absolutely fantastic. And I'm so glad that the family but you caught the family on a good day, didn't he? Yes, indeed. Salute to y'all out there.
Holland ever done for you?
Nothing.
Nothing.
For me, nothing.
Nothing that I know of.
He ain't do me. I can admit that.
I've never even heard of this person.
Do you want Kilmar Abrego Garcia, this quote-unquote Maryland dad, living back in Maryland?
No. No.
No.
No.
Not if he's doing trafficking, no. Why the I want somebody like that back? No.
What is your message to the Democrats who really want him back in your community?
Why would you want that in my community? Bring it to your community and see how long you like it up there.
Leave them, or y'all go over there with them.
You're focused on the wrong thing.
If they illegal come.
Let's run that back a bit. Yeah, we need more of this.
Democrats who really want him back in your community.
Why would you want that in my community? Bring it to your community and see how long you like it up there.
Leave them, or y'all go over there with them.
You're focused on the wrong thing.
If they illegal come.
Say that then. Man, I'm telling you. They're coming with it. They are coming with it. Let's see. Where do I gotta go next? This. Okay. Hold on. Let me see if this is what I need. Okay. All right. Yes, let's do this. So, actually, you know what? Let's get that here. And where are we at? Okay. So, further looking at the Democrats, let me show y'all something. So Kamala Harris, they're running Kamala Harris out again as well. And they're doing this. It's almost like a campaign to force ideas. And of course, they're using the church to do it. Go back to with Kamala Harris's campaign. She kept going in front of churches telling them that they could put their faith aside. Y'all remember that? Like the one thing you could do is, you could be inclusive and this and that. And what's so crazy is they'll tell you if you're not with what they're pushing, then you are somehow a bigot or, and again, inclusion, I think that is a term that is not really used in its best manners all the time. And so when you have a person with a devout faith that is Bible or biblically based, that doesn't mean they themselves have to be perfect. That doesn't mean that the institution of the church is perfect. What they are saying is they strive to live by the standard to which is coming out of said book. So if that is their devout belief, just as any other religion that anybody would believe, the tenets of that religion are things that a person would take to heart. That's why they're a person of that faith. For some reason, in the Black community, we get these people start coming around chipping at that and saying, you can be devout, but accept this thing that you actually in your heart call sin. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to educate you that that is one of the pieces and parts of selling your soul. They have done it on a small scale before. Now, what used to be a secret society, they want to be normality. Have you guys started seeing Freemason commercials in your neighborhoods? Since when have you ever saw that? On TV, you're seeing TV commercials, advertising for the Freemasons. And then they'll waltz in a candidate into your church just like this. So she's still trying to make her appearance. She showed up on Easter. I guess next she'll show up on Mother's Day. If you're not a foundational Black American, you probably don't even know what the hell that even meant. Anyway, let me just play her speaking last time she spoke at a church.
The parable of the Good Samaritan, teaches us to love thy neighbor as thyself. These words are simple. We know them well. It is an essential tenet and a pillar of our faith and that of so many others. However, one must ask, are all people of faith living those words? Are all people of faith expressing those words in their actions? Do we have leaders in place who understand that in the face of a stranger, one should see a neighbor? And I'll tell you.
Okay. That's actually not the intent or context of that scripture. But when you're saying stranger, a stranger would be somebody that is not from your customs, is not from your lineage, I guess, per se. But they are coming around and they are adopting your customs. These are things that they did then, and things that I would strongly advise against in today's time. Because see, here's even and for all intents and purposes, when Dr. King used to tell people why he was nonviolent at the moment, it was because that was what was strategically feasible for the moment and the time. Meaning, we, as the continuation of Black empowerment, we must focus on what works for us in the time that we're in, that gets the job and has the same effectiveness, desired effect, furthering our empowerment. So those who come behind us have somewhat of a blueprint, but also the ingenuity to know if this arises, then we adapt to continue on. But when people want to get us caught up on is going back to the 60s, things they want us to always revert to things that they have now figured out how to stop. That's why people will always advise, well, we got to go this way. We got to go that way. We got to go independent. I'm watching people flame out in my comment section over my last video because they're stuck on, and it's funny watching people when you can't use the Trump line because you have to enter in an independent space. It's funny watching people flail. Oh man, what about this Republican? What about that Republican? I don't know. They have nothing to do with our agenda. Well, see, we got to do better. No, we got to figure it out over here. We don't have those problems. I mean, I guess, you must be over there with them people on that Democratic corner.
And I'm telling you, as a psychologist, I'm not going to be able to psychologize all of them on the corner. Some of them going to sleep for good.
And so at the end of the day, we have people up in these churches that are up on that Democratic corner. And they have, for some reason, got active against Target.
Good evening and thanks for joining us at 6. I'm Angelina Salcido. A very happy Easter to those who are celebrating. We begin with the growing boycott against retail giant Target. Several groups say it's entering a new phase. During Lent, Pastor Jamal Bryant urged his DeKalb County congregation to fast from shopping there. 11 Alive's Ariana Muniz explains why he says this movement isn't over.
If you ain't been going to Target, open up your mouth and give God glory.
10 weeks after New Birth Missionary Baptist Church launched a Target fast, Pastor Jamal Bryant says it's time to raise the stakes.
What does this brother have on? Are you in a fuchsia suit? You an Easter egg? You the Easter bunny? This dude up here dressed like a damn Easter egg. What's going on with Jamal Bryant, man?
So I told them what I'm getting ready to tell you. We ain't going back in there.
On Easter Sunday, Bryant announced the fast would continue as a full boycott after Target slashed diversity programs and, according to Bryant, refused to fulfill most of his demands.
Dude, look at the person beside you and tell them we ain't going in there. We ain't going.
Bryant says he met with Target executives and only one demand was met.
Target has agreed that by July the 31st, they will complete the pledge of $2 billion for black business.
The full list of demands also included restoring DEI efforts, depositing $250 million into black banks, and new partnerships with HBCUs.
I think that what we're
Now I see why Al Sharpton tried to get on in this mix. So, okay, let me take a little brief pause here because I need to frame this one. So, for those of you who do know that, it was Jamal Bryant that first called for this boycott. Now, when this happened, people were asking Al Sharpton if he was joining in with this boycott, which, of course, is started by Jamal Bryant and his church. And he, was saying, well, no, but I've talked to these people, talked to that. So he did his thing going over and having a buy-in at Costco. Well, as it turns out, the buy-in really didn't do shit. But this boycott has actually been affecting Target's bottom line. Now, of course, it's always also affected their black employees. I don't know how, that really wasn't thought out. But along with that, now Target had a conversation and this big announced meeting with Al Sharpton. It's like, well, why are you having a meeting with Al Sharpton? It's Jamal Bryant who got this boycott on your ass. So now, obviously, they're now dealing back with Jamal Bryant. But it's funny how Al Sharpton really tried to get some shine for himself. Like all of this was about him. The boycott was not about Al Sharpton. That was literally Jamal Bryant's. And it's so funny watching watching Al Sharpton try to hijack the moment. Because, see, this is what's happening over there in Shillville. They are having regime issues because you got the young that are coming in, and then you got the old that know they have less days ahead of them than they have behind them, but they will not pass the torch. But it looks like the media just said, we're going to go around Reverend now.
Asking for is reasonable. Those 4 and 1 out of 4 is not sufficient.
Bryant says the fast combined with the pre-existing grassroots boycott hurt Target's bottom line. The company's stock price down nearly $44 per share from the end of January when the retailer first announced it was ending DEI efforts. The boycott also gave rise to the Bullseye Black Market, a 3-day pop-up event directing dollars to black-owned brands, one of them Lamique Beauty.
Before 2020, you're looking at less than 5% of black-owned beauty products on retailers' websites or on their physical shelves.
Kim Roxy, the owner, found her way on Target's website, but says sales for products listed on the website dropped amid the fast, but she's keeping her products listed.
I decided to keep my products on the website because they're there because of a black woman who has a company called Amp Beauty LA.
True Laundry, an Atlanta-based detergent company, also featured.
Everybody uses laundry detergent. If you have a good product, then we have people of all colors and all races buying from it.
Says this movement isn't just.
Oh, well, where Judah Israel ain't in here. Yeah. So years ago, it was Judah Israel that even turned me on to these folks. So like, these black. Now I will say I'm glad to see that they made sure to emphasize black businesses. And realistically, for what Jamal Bryant actually demanded out of Target, outside of the DEI, because DEI ain't got nothing to do with us, everything else, though, I'm good with. Actually, everything else on his demands from Target, I'm solid with. Because they're targeted, so I can't help but notice that he took advantage of the moment. And maybe that's why Al Sharpton jumped out there. But at the end of the day, Al, you ain't gonna be able to ride this wave because the new order of business today, you want to have your name and face out here, you better have black folks' name in your mouth. So he's getting money to black banks, getting money to black businesses, and getting money to HBCUs. Do with that what you will. But again, putting money to where black folks are, unfortunately with them HBCUs, a lot of tethers are, but understanding the leverage that the black dollar does have. And we have talked about that for a very long time. Now, I guess if the public started leveraging that black dollar against the black church, it'd be even different. But we need to see more of this. And when people refrain from saying we need this for black folk, they don't need to be talking for us. They need to go talk for the people they want to go talk for and get the hell up out the paint talking in front of us when it's our issue. So this one, it's funny that Reverend Al tried to jump out there and make it his moment. That didn't work. And I'm glad for the demands that was made here. So salute to him.
It's about where people spend. It's about who they're uplifting.
He said we have to buy from each other like all other people, right? And that's important.
And that was our Ariana Muniz reporting. With this,
real talk. Real talk. And so that ultimately, it is what I want to talk about. But there's one last matter of business. These folks are something else. Let me handle this. Can I get these in there? Let's see. Y'all hit that like button, would you? Hit that like button for me. If you would, please. I appreciate it. Okay. So along with the Democrats and the Democratic line, remember one of the things they push down our throats is that I gave you black judges, I gave you black women judges, and this and that and the other. Well, here's the agenda of said black judge.
And I guess I'm struggling to see how it burdens a parent's religious exercise if the school teaches something that the parent disagrees with. You have a choice. You don't have to send your kid to that school. You can put them in another situation.
With that mode of or logic, another problem I have with Democrats is with Black history, you try to sabotage it by promoting LGBTQ and trans curriculum along with Black history. These things have nothing to do with each other whatsoever. We are a people. So there's nothing there that literally involves us. So that's really tacky. But that's the other thing I needed to. Where is that? Here. Wait a minute. I'm missing one video. I was just like, wait, just thought of it. I am missing a video. Hold on, family. Oh, but like I'm saying, with Ketanji, there's something about that whole thing. I don't know. This trips me out when I hear some of these people try to go at folks for having non-Black spouses. But then you watch what they champion. So when we were saying Ketanji Brown Jackson doesn't represent foundational Black Americans, we were met with all kind of resistance and, oh man, she a Black woman. Maybe she married a white man because Black men didn't want a dark-skinned chocolate sister with melanin, but you just don't like the dark-skinned Black woman. I haven't been hearing this type of talk lately, and I don't really understand where this is coming from. Even with my questions about Jasmine Crockett, like, y'all always questioning Black dark-skinned women. Like, what the hell are you talking about? What does being dark-skinned have to do with any damn thing? I'm confused. Well, as a dark skin, you just hate dark skinned women. And like, are we on some good back hair? See if my hair going in. What was that? Go on instead, see if I care good and bad hair. Like, baby, I'm too old for that bullshit you talking. Put that in the movie. Oh, I'm sorry, it's already been done. That came back out in the 80s. But here we are in 2025 with talking to some little ignorant youngster telling me about something that literally was like in a movie 30 plus years ago. We've came to that conversation and had it a long time ago, Missy. Oh, and then a little while later, then there was another Spike Lee movie by the name of Jungle Fever. Guess what that movie's about? It's so weird having these conversations. Oh, you guys just don't like dark-skinned black women. What? The foolishness. The foolishness of it all. Katanji, you know, the dark chocolate, melanin, dripping, sensual, sexual chocolateness. And Michael Eric Dyson's simp ass. And so, and when you hear stuff like that, I wonder, why was this taken so lightly?
And if we continue to put people into office, and that even means some of our skinfolk who definitely are not our kinfolk, such as Byron Donalds, who are going to continue to say that, like, I mean, the fact that you sitting around talking about life was better under Jim Crow, like, is this because you don't understand history? Or literally it's because you married a white woman and so you think that whitewashed you? I'm not really sure, like, what it is.
Well,
but
you
I
couldn't
need
even be married to a white woman under Jim
correct,
Crow.
correct. And it took Joy to call him out. So I'm like, bruh, like, what are you talking about? Like, what are you saying? Like, he just out here, you know, I feel like they give him his talking points and he's like, yes, massa, I got it.
Yeah, it's a kettle calling the pot black, though, Jasmine. Because, you know, what's very interesting about that part, when I seen it, I was like, I wonder how many people will catch or miss what just happened. The reference that she just made was about knowing history about this country. Her and Byron Donald seem to have the same connection to our chattel slavery history here. Because she didn't really say anything. She's just talking about, oh, well, yeah, and making the point that his interracial marriage couldn't actually happen then. The interesting thing is, more importantly, he wouldn't have been able to be in his country. Guess that part was missed. That's interesting. You know, just let folks talk long enough, you'll be like, well, no. Think we're getting sold a bill of goods here. Oh, don't tell me this doesn't have any volume. Oh, okay. I'm kind of pissed off here. This doesn't have any volume. You're kidding. Hold on. Let me see if I got any volume on this. Let me. Oh, no, of course not. Of course not. Okay. And I might just have to play the audio. Do that. Okay, bear with me 1 second. Because I thought I had this video in here, and for some reason it has no damn sound. Okay.
And her op-ed
Okay.
is
So this, of course, y'all might have heard this by now, but this is Simone Sanders. And Simone Sanders has something to say about what they gonna do to us, I guess. And she makes the people of color reference, but check it out.
I've been talking about this all week, but Janae Nelson of the NAACP Legal Defense Fund, she penned an op-ed in The Nation this week. And her op-ed talked about that we think that democracies are, the way they die is dramatically through these wars and blood is shed, and it's cinematic in a sense, but really the realistic way in which democracies die is that it's dismantled brick by brick, piece by piece. And she says that what we are seeing now with the lawlessness from this administration are really the canaries in the coal mine gasping for air. I'm paraphrasing here, but to me, that is why Kilmar Abrego Garcia's specific case, the case of the gentleman who's a makeup artist out of California who was also sent to that prison. That is why the 75% of the folks who have been sent, the men who have been sent there that don't have criminal records. That is why this is so important, because if they could do it to them, if they could snatch students off the street without any pushback or recourse, they will do it to any of us. To be very clear, it's going to be the people of color and vulnerable communities that are next in line.
I think that's right. And that's certainly part of why the African-American community is so strongly behind the supporting Kilmar.
Yeah, we're like, we are not for this.
Yeah, because as you just said, if they're going to whisk them away.
What the hell is he talking about? The African-American community is heavily behind this illegal? Since when? Where'd you get that from? That's a lie, ladies and gentlemen. See, this is okay. Again, for you people who keep coming in my comments, I'm just trying to tear other black folks down. And no, when they start getting down here misrepresenting Black America, that's the problem. And what this fool just did, and along with Simone Mammy linebacker Sanders, are up here lying on Black America to try to make it seem as Black America is against deportations. No, the hell we are not.
Wait, what are they going to do with us?
Really?
If they could snatch students off the street without any pushback or recourse, they will do it to any of us. To be very clear, it's going to be the people of color and vulnerable communities that are next in line.
I think that's right. And that's certainly part of why the African-American community is so strongly behind the supporting Kilmar.
Yeah, we're like, we are not for this.
Yeah, because as you just said, if they're going to whisk them away, what are they going to do with us?
That literally makes no sense. That makes no sense. But this is what I'm talking about with their agenda.
California, who was also sent to that prison. That is why
Okay. So, family, now you see what Simone Sanders is on. You see what the Democrat agenda is. We not fools. So this, when we see stuff like this.
Right now, what they are trying to do is institute Nazism 2.0 in the United States. And guess what? It's going to be us that's going to be on the receiving end of all of it. So I could go on and on and on about the terrible things that are in there. But the basis of it, they're saying it has to be Christianity. And the fact is, everything has to be really Christo-fascism. And so what they're trying to do is say, if you're not doing it our way, then you can't.
So she's caping for illegals and also caping against Christianity. But she'll get it right up there in your church and then shame you. And y'all let her. And she got up there in a church full of black folks up there talking about, this is a nation full of immigrants. Uh-huh. Oh, suckers. And never forget, man, this is the type of fraudulent stuff that we be calling out. And y'all right now in my comments hating. Well, I guess you got one more thing that you can go ahead and hate on.
Great background as it relates to my ability to deal with numbers. And it was going to pay well. So I was like, I'll be an accountant. Unfortunately, around my junior year, I was the victim of a hate crime or two. And so were a group of my friends, all at the same time. Cars were keyed with the N-word. We received hate mail in our on-campus mailboxes. And at that time, my school hired the Cochran firm. And there was a lawyer who graduated from University of Houston who was assigned to me. And it was the first time in my life that I felt helpless. And I was like, I want to help people that are going through what I've just experienced. And at that point in time, I decided that I was going to sit for the LSAT.
So college was where she, and I played this again, and this is a different video where she's saying the same thing, doubles down at the fact that, and it's a hate crime committed. There was a hate vandalism committed towards you. Yeah, that's definitely the case. But your understanding of hate, what a hate crime is, Jasmine, it's pretty freaking tame to what some of us have experienced. I remember a time when I was a kid and we had to go to my mother's sister church for a function, which is in another city that has very few Black people. And so us Black children walked to the store, which is an Albertsons down the street. And we were walking down there to get whatever while we were killing time. Because it was like some kind of a church meeting and then a service. So we're during their meeting, we go over there to Albertsons, go in the store, whatnot. We come out of the store, and there's some adult white men coming out to meet us. We're all children. And then saying, hey, these guys messing with a kid named Mikey. It's like, who? Like, nah, this is the only kid we know. Did you see anybody when you came in? Like, no, we didn't. I guess there was some white kid that saw us come in, and somehow he goes home and tells his family like we were doing something to him. Didn't even see him. And so they walk off, and then we're walking down the street. And then the next thing you know, here's a bunch of we hear voices behind us, get back here, you in, and they calling us all kind of N words. We're children running back into the church and watch these cowardly white men run up into that church and recognize how fast this day was going to turn different. And that was the day that I saw how cowardly some of these so-called supremacists are. All that anger and gusto that you had for children went right on out the window when you ran into old Billy. Then Kurt. And the rest of them start popping out. Didn't know all these black men were off up in this church now, did you? And so after the white men recognized that they could actually get their clothes tore off, they promptly apologized. And then they said it was a misunderstanding, and they skedaddled their little asses on. But I'm just saying that to say that was me as a child. Then as like my school days, going to kindergarten, the white kids can't help but call you the N-word. All through elementary school. So it's funny hearing her talk about, I was in college and they wrote like hate mail and they keyed my car, and okay, that's super duper lightweight. How about going to school every day with the same, this white kids and these kids just take an ass whooping, take a licking, and keep on ticking, calling you the N-word because it's that important. Mouth can be bloody on the ground, head bashed in. You're still in there. So when I hear people talking this little weak shit, I don't want to hear that. No, they Keaton McCarr. He wasn't no victim of no hate crime. He was a victim of vandalism with racial connotation. But hate crime, not in my book. That's hella lightweight. And I wouldn't want you talking for me having that as an experience. And that's your talking point to why you think you could deal with what we deal with or talk for us? Absolutely not. Hell no. Let's hear it. Let's see. This is what she was. And this is 2019 with the colonial wig and collar jacket. You know, the collar here. And she got that colonial thing because that's what tethers do. Then someone got her glammed up and gave her the American makeover. Oh, yeah, by the way, got her teeth fixed. Did you know she was an actress? For all you people that come into my comments, you guys are hating on the black woman. You realize she was an actress, right?
I did Little Shop of Horrors. So when I was in college at Rhodes in Memphis, I ended up doing Little Shop of Horrors.
What part did you play in that?
I was one of the women that was singing.
Okay.
Yes, I was in the chorus.
Okay.
And so I ended up doing it, and the mock trial coach recruited me to do mock trial. And I was like, no. By this time, I decided I was going to be an accountant. Didn't want to do.
They added a gap. Never really looked this hard before. Somebody has got some work done. Oh, she can't take it outside with nobody. No wonder. Because remember, you're like, old sister girl here. Hey, now y'all remember, I'm a black girl. Nancy Mason was like, yeah, well, let's go outside then. Y'all forget that part. See, everybody want to play that down. Nancy Mace pulled Jasmine Crockett's card. You a valley girl. You ain't about that romping. Stop it. Okay, well, let's go outside then. Let's go see if you really street with all that ghetto yapping you're doing. Now all that, let's go outside. But I'm going to come in here. Y'all know you mess with me. I'm a black woman. What black woman going to sit up there and let this woman sit up here tell you can take it out? So you want to take it outside? I'm surprised your wig didn't come off, Jasmine. But see, again, when you perpetrating the fraud, I mean, maybe that just ain't no Vaseline in your purse, huh? Because I'm taking it to the streets. I'm taking it to the streets. Oh man, Jasmine Crockett is so fixated on Elon Musk. Elon Musk and President Musk and Musk. Jeez. Just the same redundant thing over and over again. And the people in my comments, why somebody actually asked me, why does she need okay, there we go. Why does she need to worry about black people? Why can't she just worry about her job? Her job is worrying about black folks. She wants to be representing us. Then she needs to be about our business. That's logical sense. Let's hear a little more from the actress.
Anesthesia no more. Still didn't want to talk to people. So then he goes, no, you should do mock trial. And I said, that's for the kids going to law school. Long story short, he recruits me. I do mock trial just my senior year. I become a national All-American. He says, you should go to law school. So I applied, got a full ride, and said, fine, if I don't like it, I'll quit.
Okay, so I just need to, I'm not tripping. Look at her teeth. She got a whole mouth makeover. And family, did she get a little bit taken off the top of them nostrils? Am I tripping? Maybe it's just the makeup, huh? Yeah, it's the makeup throwing me off. But the makeup can't give her a gap when there wasn't one. Look at 2019, 2025. The teeth is even different. I think there's been a little contour. I mean, I could be wrong. Maybe it's me. What y'all think? Think I might be seeing a little contouring. Just saying. Well, at the end of the day, Democrats, black shills and all, you guys have to understand this one thing. And this one thing for damn sure. We as foundational black American freedmen, number one, cannot be deported. It is an insult to our ancestors and to us to consistently call this a country of immigrants when literally the Statue of Liberty is there to commemorate the freedom of our ancestors. The disrespect to our lineage shall no longer be tolerated without being called out. Regardless if you got, we went with the black face and we see now that's the problem. These people don't have our lineage. So if they don't represent us, they're not from us. They cannot represent us. They definitely do not speak for us. And if you're Greek, then you're just Greek. But this black agenda ain't for you to be speaking. You want to be Greek? Support the black agenda. Support black empowerment. But being at the forefront speaking for this thing, nah, man, because we tired of having these outsiders bringing in all of these outside influences and notions. At the end of the day, this is foundational black American freedmen empowerment. And everybody else, get your empowerment when you stand up for yourselves. Stop looking to put your empowerment on our back and hang it on our ancestors' history. No, sir.
I think you're right there. I would not limit our employment demands to Negroes. I would include Puerto Ricans and other minorities throughout our country, which have been similarly discriminated against, though not for so long a period of time as Negroes.
Puerto Ricans weren't enslaved. Yeah, this is a problem that stems from slavery. And this compensation, yes, so this compensation is coming to people who were enslaved by the white man for 400 years. The Puerto Ricans don't even fit into this picture.
Well, they do fit into it.
No,
they do fit into it.
The problem is the Negro problem. They're not lynching Puerto Ricans.
If a dark-skinned Puerto Rican went down to Mississippi, he probably would be lynched too.
Spanish, he wouldn't be lynched.
No, they don't.
It's the Negro here, and as long as he can speak Spanish or some other language, or if he ties his head up with a turban or something, he can go anywhere in Mississippi or in your home that he desires.
You're not aware of the fact, are you, that African students have been arrested in our demonstrations in the South?
When they
speak French.
When they have been mistaken for the so-called Negro in America, they've been arrested.
What I'm saying is...
Right. So being mistaken for us. And since then, they have had a clear handle on who's foundational black Americans and who is not. So when you start talking this, they be coming for us next to do what? Because this mass deportation issue was never about us in the first place. So why now are you going to say this flood of illegals who has come in here, well, man, if we don't get and support this Democratic agenda that Joe Biden brought in here to our faces and told us what it was about, you think we should still support this after we got them out the paint? The hell is wrong with these people? Hell no. And to Jasmine Crockett.
Where's your family from?
And to all of the rest of you illegals that have no business being here and came over here to exploit the work and the hard labor and the free labor of my ancestors in this country, we collectively say, hashtag fire up the jet.
Happy birthday, we're celebrating you today. Like Dr. King holiday, we ain't gonna do any work today. Happy birthday today. It's your beautiful day, and we gonna party all day like it's a freaking holiday.
Yes, indeed, ladies and gentlemen, Babylon is fallen. Babylon is fallen. Let it fall and let us rise. Can you dig it? Ladies and gentlemen, this has been the Independent Black Voice. Why should FBA/Freedmen be ignored by the Democrats while they fight for illegals? Somebody out there might make sense of that and say, well, I have an answer. Well, we have an answer for you. I speak for myself, beatzillapdx official, the Independent Black Voice. Those of you in the chat, the grassroots, and the voices of new black media. I think I'm safe to say I speak for all parties involved when we proudly dedicate this song to you.
Get up off of that cocaine and get up off of that crack. Get yourself together and get your mind back.
Yes, indeed, ladies and gentlemen. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you once again for tuning in. Hit that like button, share this out on your social media, subscribe to this channel if you have not already done so. You can also join this channel and become a member of the Independent Black Voice by hitting the join button. And then if you would like to, you can follow me on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at beatzillapdx. You can email me at ourrealtruth@gmail.com. And if you feel so inclined to support this channel by way of donation, you can put some money in the bucket at CashApp, $beatzillapdx. And we also have PayPal, which is Zilla Muzak. That is ZILLAMUZAK at PayPal. And I see a few folks came in the chat here late. I see my sister Black Spider in the house. Yes, indeed. Salute to you. Thank you for being here and being a member. And I see Simply Sandra in the house. Salute to you. Thank you for being here. Thank you for being a member as well. And Tookie904 in the building. Thank you for being here and being a member. Now, family, we're about to get out of here, but always remember why they hate us and why they are upset and why they are trying to throw all of the monkey wrenches into our empowerment. It's because we delineated and they got the message on a world stage.
It's a cultural divide. I'm going to get it on the floor.
You really got to do it.
40 acres in the mule. This is bigger than the music.
Hashtag hands off our reparations.
You have no rights here. We're not under the empire.
Filed under things that will never get old to me. Oh boy, I knew that very first night I seen that. I was like, oh, they gonna be mad, boy. And that I know they still are. So salute out, shout out to Moses. And also a black woman named Moses. How fitting. Oh, anyway, till next time, family, y'all stay black, stay vigilant, stay alive. Black first, black first, black first. Shalom, y'all. Have a blessed evening. Peace. One more time, we are. Give it up for Charlie Marshall, y'all. We're gonna tell y'all one more time if you didn't know it. It's time to get doo-doo-dum. Dookie, I spell me come from. We got the sounds, we know they're like, it's time to